couple minutes to midnight, but you know what? I'm ready to begin this. Welcome everyone, it's now time for case number 51. Out of breath. In the conspiracy. We're nearing the end here. Matthew, the mystery deepens in our investigation of Ad Astra and their planned supernova. Yeah, so far we've discovered the identities of all but one of the 5 members of the group. We know Rosetta is one of them. And the other 3 Ad Astrans we found are Agrimetal CEO Julia Brine, Mayor Joe Warren, and venture capitalist Christian Bateman. Lucky for us, Bateman spilled the beans about supernova still having something to do with the meteorite. And now we know their new plan with the meteorite involves some kind of human enhancement. Yeah, the message we intercepted after the blackout made that pretty clear, even if we don't know what this human enhancement means. I'm glad it's this and not another kind of enhancement, and I'll leave you guys to figure out what it is. While it can't be good, we always discovered that a substance from the meteorite was used for mind control. What other nefarious schemes can that hunk of rock be mixed up in? Since Dreamlife was dissolved, the Space and Aeronautics Research Agency took control of the dome, and is preparing to move the meteorite to their facilities as we speak. We discussed this with the head of Sarah, but I agree, we should investigate the rock in the meteorite lab before everything gets uprooted and reorganized in the move. Come on, Matthew, let's head back to the dome. I am going to be cutting this short. It's already midnight where I live. Also fighting a slight cold, but nothing real minor. Matthew, we got here just in time. Sarah's taking the meteorite out of the dome and... Wait, is that a dead body? It looks like she was beaten up and strangled. Oh, you're right. That's Doris Black, who worked at the Tex-Mex stand in the cafeteria. We met her the first time we came to the dome. I guess Sarah let her stay while they clean up and clear everything out of the dome. Who could have been this angry with Doris? And does it have anything to do with Sarah moving the meteorite? You're right, we need clues. Something could be hidden under this pile of rubble. And we better talk to the head of Sarah, Denise Daniels, about the murder. Finding clues about Ad Astra's plans will have to wait. Senior Trooper Matthew, I'm glad you're here. Your chief told me you'd be coming today. As you can see, we're sorting through Dreamlife stuff here. Nothing yet on this supernova thing you told me about, but maybe together we'll find something. Indeed, Miss Daniels, but for now we've got a more pressing concern. Doris Black, who worked here in the dome, was murdered. Do you know anything about that? What? Oh no! Miss Black was one of the few employees left from when the dome belonged to Dreamlife. We did an extensive background check and found nothing of concern, so she continued working for us. To think this would happen on Sarah's watch, I can't imagine anyone among my employees would be capable of murder. Anyway, I assume you need to examine the cafeteria where Doris worked. I can show you the way. Thank you, Miss Daniels. That's exactly where we'd like to go next. Now I'm going to unlock all crime scenes And hopefully, I will try my best to have all stars collected by the time I come back. I know it's already after midnight, so I am going to cut this short. There we go. And I still got the first star anyway. Wow, this place looks strange with everything closed. Only Doris's taco stand is lit up. It was good of Sarah to keep some people like Doris working here after Dream Life dissolved. At least until they're done clearing out the dome. It's not her fault Dream Life was up to no good. Anyway, Matthew, good point. The answering machine in the victim's taco booth is blinking. Someone left a message on here. Looks like you need a special code to hear the messages. Let's try to crack it. And this picture frame is broken. We'll have to reassemble it to see the photo. And I'm going to be exiting stage left to get all the stars collected, and I'll see you all then. Well, I said I would come back with all stars collected, and I do. As you can see, I have 24. Now I just used my first one for the first while, and that was 23. So now, it is a brand new day. Leather strap. Matthew, there was a clue hidden under the rubble. Looks like a leather bracelet with some sort of wing emblem on it. And it's bloody. You're right. It must have come off during the killer's fight with the victim. Let's get this to a mirror for inspection. 3 hours. And now the answering machine. Eight, 9, 3. 5, 2, 4, 7 something, or 760. Excellent, Matthew. You got the answering machine unlocked. Let's see what this message to the victim is about. Hello, Doris. It's Martin Davenport calling to remind you that we have a meeting scheduled for later today. Punctuality is appreciated. So this victim had a meeting with Martin Davenport. I'll look him up. It looks like Martin Davenport is a lawyer working for Sarah. That means he must be around here somewhere. Let's talk to him. And in such a case, the clause would be excluded pending the results of a preliminary examination. Be warned, of course, that this may result in double indemnity. Sure, no problem. Bye. Mr. Davenport, we'd like to speak with you about the murder of Doris Black, which happened in the Dome this morning. Murder? It's extremely illegal. I do not approve of it, nor do I recommend that anyone attempt it. Glad we're on the same page. We understand you had a meeting scheduled with Doris. Yes, those meetings are a mandatory part of this transition process. You see, given that our organization, Sarah, has taken control of the Dome, And given that said dome may still contain evidence against a certain guilty party, Dreamlife, it is my job to organize any such incriminating matter found according to the law. I've been conducting interviews with former Dreamlife employees, including Ms. Doris Black, to ensure that no details are overlooked in this investigation. Everything was going so smoothly, nothing like a murder to wrap everything in red tape. Okay. There we are. Matthew, this is a photo of the victim, and who's that guy she's with? Let's run this photo through the database and try to identify him. There we are. Clyde Black. Matthew, the guy in that photo is the victim's brother, one Clyde Black. Oh dear, we need to inform Mr. Black of his sister's murder. I hate doing this. Mr. Black, I'm afraid we have some bad news. Your sister has been murdered. Doris was murdered? But how? Why? That's what we're looking into. Do you know anyone who wished her harm? No, Doris was the kindest person in the world. I was jobless for so long, living with our parents. It was embarrassing. And she put in a good word and got me a job moving boxes for Sarah. Wait, so you work under the dome too? Yeah, I dreamed of working for Sarah for a long time. I'm a little nervous around so many new people, so it was nice to have a familiar face there. But now she's gone, just like that. I'm sorry, Senior Trooper Matthew, I'm having trouble taking in this news. That's gonna do for this. And I'll let these two run their courses. I'll see you when they're done. See y'all later. Okay, we are back, and we'll get the results of the autopsy right now from our team. Well, Matthew, your victim here took quite a beating. Her nose was broken, she's got bruises everywhere, pieces of her hair were torn out. Do you know the ultimate cause of death? Yes, her trachea was collapsed. Clearly, at some point, the killer got the upper hand and strangled her to death with something. Were you able to tell anything else from the body? Well, at some point during the fight, the killer spat in the victim's face. There wasn't enough DNA for analysis, but I found bits of chewed sunflower seeds in the saliva, so we know your killer eats them. Well, Matthew, this killer's about to get chewed up and spat out. So, Matthew, what's the dome like now that Sarah's in control, without any of Rosetta's evil vibes around? Well, they're in the process of moving everything to Sarah headquarters. They made a big hole in the walls to get the meteorite out of the lab. Wow, maybe I should head out there soon and try to check things out. That's a good idea, before it all gets reorganized somewhere else. Anyway, what can you tell us about the bloody bracelet we found at the crime scene? Well, the blood on the bracelet is the victim, but the victim didn't have a mark where the bracelet would have been torn from her wrist. That means the bracelet is the killer's. Yes. I also did some research on the emblem featured on the band. Accessories with this emblem are given to someone when they receive their amateur pilot's license. That means your killer is an amateur pilot. Well, Matthew, when we catch up to them, we'll clip this killer's wings. Well, once again, Matthew, we've come to investigate the meteorite, and there's a murder in our way. I'm just glad this time no one's trying to pin it on me. So far, we've talked to Miss Daniels, the head of SARA, who doesn't seem to know much about the murder, and is pretty busy sorting through everything Dreamlife left behind. The same goes for Martin Davenport, the lawyer overseeing that sorting process. He seems more concerned about organization than the murder. And the victim's brother Clyde seems broken up about the news of his sister's death. They were close enough that she helped him get a job here. But who would want to beat up and strangle the cook of the Tex-Mex station in the cafeteria? To solve this murder, we'll have to see if anyone... Matthew, what is this? Wow, arm! Oh my. And I'll see you guys for Chapter 2. Okay, we have returned. Let's start Chapter 2 of Out of Breath. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is where we left off on. Oh no! Did that get on you? Don't worry, it's just water. I'm rinsing off some suits I just cleaned, and I shot you high with the hose. I'm the head of SARA's hazmat team. My name's Trishna Joshi. It's nice to meet you, Senior Trooper Matthew. You're the one in charge of decontamination and chemical safety, and you go around spraying people with hoses? Yeah, I'm sorry about that. At least now you know you're clean. Yeah, and cold. You know, Miss Joshi, this area is part of a crime scene. After we dry off, we'll need to ask you some questions. Miss Joshi, we found Doris Black strangled to death near the meteorite lab, right next door to your workspace. Doris? Oh, that's awful. You knew her? Yeah, sometimes we're too busy to break for lunch, and Doris is sweet enough to come by the hazmat station once in a while with a tray of tacos for all of us. I appreciated that, since sometimes the only snack I get during the day is sunflower seeds. And she made amazing pico de gallo. As an amateur pilot, I've flown down to Mexico a couple of times, but I've never had salsa better than Doris made. I think I can speak for everyone here when I say that her food will be missed. Very well, Miss Joshi. Thank you for speaking with us. If there's anything else, we'll let you know. Meanwhile, Matthew, since Miss Joshi's decontamination station is next to the crime scene, let's take a look around there. Torn fabric. Matthew, what is this card you found? It looks like an employee meal card, but the name is illegible. Let's figure out whose this is. And this torn fabric could be a valuable clue. Let's put it back together and see if it provides any evidence. You're right, Matthew. This is the victim's apron. She wasn't wearing it when we found her. Was it the killer who tried to hide it here? Let's get it to a mirror and see what he can find. M. Rokessel. Mr. Rokessel, okay. Looks like this meal card belongs to a Mr. O'Kessel. The Sarah database shows an Otto Kessel. Apparently he's Miss Daniels' assistant. Well, let's get Mr. Kessel's meal card back to him and ask if he knows anything about this murder. Apologies, Miss Daniels is unavailable for visitors. I am at your disposal as her assistant. We'll pass on a message. Actually, Mr. Kessel, we're here to see you. You dropped your meal card near where... Thank you. So much to do on the project to clear out the dome. Been distracted. Have only eaten sunflower seeds and coffee today. That's not all we've come to discuss. Doris Black was found strangled to death earlier today. Did you know her? Doris? I know the name. She worked in the cafeteria. Blonde, cactus shirt. Saw her in passing. We only spoke a little. Seemed nice. I'm sorry, must go. Miss Daniels might be needing me. Please let me know if I can help later. And I'll see you guys when the apron is done. Okay, we are back. Let's get the results of the apron. Matthew, judging by the stains left on the apron, your victim used to make some mean fajitas. That's good to know, but not exactly useful. Was there anything else on it except leftover food? Yes, there was your victim's blood. She definitely had this apron on during the struggle with the killer, who then disposed of it elsewhere. Also, the belt is missing from it. Did the killer leave any evidence on the apron? Yes, I also found traces of Saccharomyces boulardii on the apron, which is a yeast used in probiotic supplements to ease digestion and prevent bowel irritation. Martine says the victim had nothing of the kind in her stomach, so it's the killer who stained the apron with their probiotics. Matthew, we're getting closer to catching this killer. I can feel it in my gut. Speaking of guts, we should visit the cafeteria again to see if there's anything we missed. but I still got it.
Good idea, Matthew. This security camera could have recorded something relevant to our investigation. Looks like we'll have to unlock it to see what's on it. And this dish tub you found could contain something helpful. Let's dig in. There we are. Greasy file. Matthew, this document has Doris's picture on it, but what was it doing at the bottom of that dish tub? Looks like the text is rubbed off. We'll have to recover it to see what it says. You're right, Matthew. This document on Doris is written by the lawyer, Mr. Davenport. It says, list of suspicions against Doris Black, and the list has stuff like, worked for Dream Life, avoids eye contact, missed a meeting. Suspicion is a strong word for a lawyer to be using. Let's ask him what this is about. Senior Trooper Matthew, have you found the guilty party in the case of Miss Black's murder? It's too soon to say, Mr. Davenport, but we found proof that you saw Doris as a threat. Oh, it's my job to examine all the angles of a situation. Like they say in my amateur piloting classes, you've got to have eyes all around your head. Miss Black was the only remaining member of what once was a company with a dangerous mission. But she just worked in the cafeteria, making tacos. Yes, she kept trying to push those tacos on me, claiming my diet of probiotics and sunflower seeds was inadequate. Very suspect behavior. Doris is guilty until proven innocent. I only had a few more meetings to chisel away that disguise and get her mea culpa. I needed to hear her say it. You sound paranoid. Miss Black had already been cleared by Sarah, so your digging was unwarranted. You better not have taken the law into your own hands. One 11717. And 71179. 97174. I just felt like doing that. Excellent. Now that it's unlocked, let's get this camera to Kathy for analysis.
Okay, I'll see you guys soon. Okay, we are back. Let's get the results of the unlocked camera. Kathy, was there anything useful recorded on that security camera we took from the victim's workplace? Yes. Here, I'll let you see it for yourself. Miss Black, the burrito you made me last week was cold in the middle. And yesterday I got food poisoning from my chicken enchilada. Please tell me right now, are you trying to kill me? No, I'm just trying to make good food for people to enjoy. I'm sorry, it was a mistake. Miss Black, you better make sure it's the last mistake you make. Wow, Miss Daniels is the first person I've heard complain about Doris's food. Yeah, and I don't like the sound of her thinly veiled threat. We need to have a word with Miss Daniels about this. Miss Daniels, we understand you had a big problem with Doris Black. Why didn't you mention this before? Oh, well, I only didn't mention it because it was a minor thing. I do admit I lost my temper once. I have such a sensitive stomach, and I have to carry probiotics with me wherever I go. Even flying my puddle jumper on short trips. I take 1 or 2 capsules to avoid an upset stomach. Doris's food was delicious, but time and time again I got so sick I was unable to work. I can't be sick. I'm the director of the Space and Aeronautics Research Agency, for crying out loud. I'm not proud of how I reacted. I always try to treat my employees with a level head, but that time I was having an especially stressful day and I just blew up. Take it from us, Miss Daniels. If you killed Doris, your stressful days are only just beginning. She isn't the one so far. Matthew, the dome may have changed hands, but there are apparently still some tension simmering underneath, as evidenced by this murder. The dome's history and Doris having originally been employed by Dreamlife has caused Martin Davenport suspicions of her. Meanwhile, Miss Daniels had a much more personal beef, repeatedly getting sick from eating food that Doris made. We also met Miss Daniels' assistant, Otto Kessel, and the head of the hazmat team, Trishna Joshi. Their paths crossed with the victim, but so far we don't have a clear motive for murder. We need to dig deeper if we want... Oh, let me get that. Hey, Amir, what's up? Matthew Jones, I need your help. Amir, what's the matter? Matthew, I've been arrested. Uh-oh. We'll see for Chapter 3. Okay, we are back. Let's start Chapter 3 of Out of Breath. We just found out Amir was arrested. Arrested? Where are you? I'm under the dome by the meteorite. Please come quick. Oh, Matthew, thank God you're here. I caught this guy sneaking around here, but this area is off limits. And who are you? We're Greensboro PD, and this is our colleague, Amir. What were you doing? I was just trying to find paperwork about the supernova you-know-what stuff. I tried to explain that we have Miss Daniels' permission, but he didn't believe me. Well, we do have her permission, so this gentleman will have to let you go. Oh, I'm sorry, Senior Trooper Matthew. This is my first day working dome security, and with the murder, they were too busy to give me a full brief. Please go about your business. It's no problem. You are only doing your job. And Amir, you can't just go snooping around like this. Next time, tell someone you're coming. Now we've got to get back to the murder investigation. While we're here, let's do another sweep at the crime scene. Matthew, that's a cute tip jar from the victim's Tex-Mex stand. It's shaped like a taco. But what's it doing out here? Maybe analyzing the blue stain on it will answer that question. And wait, is that a tray of heart-shaped churros? Well, that looks romantic and delicious. I know, we can't eat the clues we find, and the next closest churros are probably miles away, which means Doris must have made them. Looks like there's a card with the churros, but grease smudged the writing away. Let's recover it. And what are these broken plastic pieces? We'll have to reassemble them to find out. Now let's get that sample from Doris's tip jar under the microscope for examination. Got it. Hazmat disinfectant. Matthew, the substance you found in Doris's tip jar was a special disinfectant. Apparently, it's a high-powered degreaser used by hazmat teams. That's right. Earlier we met Trishna Joshi, the head of Sarah's hazmat team. But why would she have the victim's tip jar? Let's see what Trishna can tell us about this. Miss Joshi, what were you doing with the victim's tip jar? We know you had it. Okay, I'll come clean. I took her tip jar, but she owed me money. When Dreamlight cleared out of the dome, Doris was out of work for a while. Luckily for her, Sarah eventually showed up and decided to keep her on. But she had lost a lot of money. When we met, I felt bad for her, so I lent her some money to help her stay afloat during the transition. That was very generous for someone you didn't know very well. Well, Doris was the only one working the cafeteria, so I knew she'd make a killing, and I was right, but she never paid me back. On top of that, I just switched to new probiotics, and they're expensive. I need the extra cash, but Doris didn't seem to care about that. So I took her tip jar to pay at least part of the loan back. That better be all you took from Doris, Miss Joshi, or you'll have to pay your debt to society. She's in the running now. Oh gosh. Oh man, I have no idea where any of this goes. Hold on, everybody. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. Oh, there we go. Matthew, those broken plastic pieces were a cool monster figurine. And look, the base of the figurine has the victim's name. What a strange clue. Let's see what Gabriel can make of it. Okay. Here's something sweet for someone sweet. The note on that tray of churros says, Otto, here's something sweet for someone sweet. So Doris made this romantic gift for Otto Kessel. But Otto made it sound like they didn't know each other very well. This demands an explanation. Mr. Kessel, it seems Miss Black was more than just a passing acquaintance, unless we're totally misreading this tray of heart-shaped churros she made for you. Objectively, we were passing acquaintances. She misread my intentions. How do you mean? We had spoken very little. I was congenial, as with all colleagues. But maybe I underestimated the strength of my congeniality. Doris took it as a proposition. I don't want romance. Too busy, and I didn't like her, but she kept insisting. Well, hopefully you didn't resort to murder to avoid her unwanted advances. And I'll see you guys when the monster figurine is done. Okay, we are back. Let's get the results of the monster figurine. Matthew, you know I was never much into cartoons. Books are more my medium, but I see that cartoons can be great too. Okay, but how is that relevant to the clue we brought you? The monster figurine with the victim's name on it. Well, the monster figurine is a character from a cartoon named She and I. The protagonist is a nice girl who then turns into this demon and starts tormenting her brother. So it's a story about a brother and sister. The victim's brother is one of our suspects. Could he have done this? Well, putting the victim's name on this particular figurine clearly indicates a childish grudge between siblings. Yeah, we've got to talk to Clyde about this. Mr. Black, if Doris did you the favor of getting you a job here, why would you turn around and call her a demon? Ah, you found that. Well, I did it to send her a message, because as soon as I got this job, that's what she turned into. Always micromanaging me, and we weren't even in the same department. She'd come to see me on the job, and instead of a smile and a hug, she told me to pick up my sunflower seeds off the ground. It was just like when we were kids and she used to boss me around. She never gave me any support. I got my amateur pilot's license last week and she didn't even congratulate me. She just said, don't let this distract from your new job. With all her bossy pants behavior, my stress ulcer started acting up again and I had to go back on probiotics. So there's a history of strife between you and your sister, but murder only guarantees you'll be micromanaged for the rest of your life. By prison guards. Now he's in the running. Well, Matthew, our victim certainly came to life in light of the clues you found. From the way Clyde initially spoke about Doris, I would have guessed that they had a strong brother-sister bond, but it turns out she was super overbearing. Similarly, Trishna first talked about how generous Doris was, and now we find out that Doris never paid back the money Trishna lent her. On the other hand, Doris made a very sweet gift for Mr. Kessel, but he didn't deal well with her advances. We're still missing the final pieces of the puzzle. The question is, where do we go from here? Oh, you're right. We know the killer dumped evidence at the decontamination area. We should check it out again. Green paper. Look, Matthew, this taco napkin has blonde hair all over it. Oh, yeah. Martina told us the killer tore Doris's hair out during their fight. I wonder if this is her hair. Let's collect some of it for testing. And you're right. There could be something important hiding in that bin of hazmat supplies. Let's dig in. There we go. Apron belt. Matthew, this looks like a ribbon or a belt of some sort. Wait, yes, it's a belt strap, and we know one was missing from the victim's apron that we found earlier. We already got some evidence from the rest of the apron. Let's see if the belt has anything else to tell us. $15 hours. Got it. And still got 9 energy. Great! You collected the hair from the napkin. This could be the victim's hair, ripped out during her fight with the killer. Let's get it to the lab and find out. This is 9 hours, and I'll let these two run their courses, and I'll see you when they're both done. See y'all then. Okay, we're back. Let's get the results of the apron belt. Let's put a killer behind bars. Matthew, thanks again for getting me out of detainment at the Dome. That was scary. It's alright. You're not in the field that often, not used to handling such things. Anyway, what have you got for us on Doris's apron belt? Lots. First of all, this is your murder weapon. Doris was strangled with this belt. It seems that during the fight, the killer must have grabbed this belt off the apron and pulled it against her throat, collapsing her windpipe and so killing her. In so doing, your killer left some minuscule fibers on the belt. Upon examination, I found them to be from green fabric. Green, huh? But Doris wasn't wearing anything green. Indeed, which means your killer wears the color. For our killer, red means stop and green means go to jail. Martine, what did you learn from the hair Matthew took from the taco napkin we found? Well, I can first verify that the hair belonged to your victim. As we discussed in the autopsy, she took quite a beating before she was killed, and this hair was torn out during the fight. And there's more. The killer had a cream on their hands, and they left traces of it on the hair. The cream is used for sensitive freckled skin. Your killer's got freckles. Well, Matthew, knowing our killer has freckles will definitely make them easier to spot. Matthew, we finally got enough evidence to arrest Doris Black's killer. Let's get him. Oh boy, it's not the lawyer. Wait a minute. And it's not Otto Kessel. It was the brother. Who'd have thought? Clyde Black, you're under arrest for the murder of your sister. You think I murdered Doris? How could you accuse me of something so horrible? We found your amateur pilot bracelet at the crime scene. Seems you didn't notice her tear it off your wrist in the struggle. You realize where you are, right? SARA stands for Space and Aeronautics Research Agency. Do you know how many people here can fly a plane? Yeah, but not all of those people use freckle cream. We found some smeared in the hair you tore from Doris's head. Tore her hair out? Look, you must think I'm some kind of crazy person. I could never do that to anyone, let alone Doris. You might not be crazy, but you were definitely angry. You strangled her with your own apron belt. Give it up, we know you did it. Alright, I killed Doris, but she was unbearable my whole life. And the last straw was when she screwed me out of a promotion. What do you mean? She was the one who got you this job. Yeah, moving boxes, menial stuff. And at first I was grateful, but yesterday I found out I was up for a promotion. They were going to put me on the team moving the meteorite. It's as close as I could come to my childhood dream of working on a real SARA project. And Doris opened her big mouth and ruined it for me. She convinced them not to promote me. But why would she do that? She claimed she was trying to protect me. She said the meteorite was bad news from the start and wanted to keep me far away from it. But that's nonsense, and I told Doris that, but she wouldn't listen. She just wanted to run my life, as always, and she ruined everything. So, you figured the best way to deal with your overbearing sister was to kill her? I don't even remember the fight. I just remember her screaming, and then the screaming stopped, and she was dead. Yes, dead because of you, and now you're under arrest. Clyde Black, you're charged with the murder by strangulation of your sister Doris Black. How do you plead? Guilty, Your Honor. I was incensed. Doris ruined my promotion. The one chance I had to do something important, and I lost control. It's a terrible tragedy, one sibling killing another. Age-old grievances building until eventually they change the rest of your lives. Mr. Black, the court sentences you to 15 years in jail. Doris is right about that meteorite. We fought about it, and now she's dead, and I'm going to jail. Well, we've wrapped up another murder case on our way to uncover Ad Astra's schemes. This time a brother and sister driven to the breaking point. I gotta say, while I'm not close to my family, even at our worst, things could never get this bad between us. Anyway, now that's solved, we can get back to digging into this human enhancement that's apparently part of Ad Astra's Matthew, there's been a new development. We've got a lead on Ad Astra's planned supernova. And I'll see you guys for To the Stars 3-6. Okay, we are back, and let's get to the Stars 3-6. It's ironic, Matthew. The victim of the case we just wrapped up wanted to protect her brother from the air of danger surrounding the meteorite. So she kept him from getting the promotion and wound up murdered herself. Well, now that the case is wrapped up, we can get down to puzzling out the direct danger of the meteorite. How does it connect to Ad Astra's planned supernova? We know it's got something to do with human enhancement, whatever that means. About that, Matthew, there's been a new development. We've got a lead on planned supernova. Ms. Daniels just called and said she wanted to talk to us about a discovery she made. Ah, I knew she'd come across something. Well, let's go. Matthew, I know you're very busy, but while you've got access to the dome, I'd like to ask you a favor. It's not an emergency, but, well, it's kind of an emergency. Sure thing. Matthew and Jones can see Ramirez after we talk to Miss Daniels. Let's go. Ms. Daniels, we heard you have a possible lead for us on human enhancement on planned supernova. Yes, one of the movers preparing the meteorite said he found some kind of recording device, and the data on it mentions human enhancement. Oh, we have got to get our hands on that device. Where is it? The mover left it near the meteorite for you to pick up. Thank you, Miss Daniels. Senior Trooper Matthew, let's go check it out. Senior Trooper Matthew, I know these investigations take a lot of funds and resources to maintain. I will do whatever I can to help. Here, take this. Nice. That'll definitely improve my score. Matthew, you're right. This has to be the device Denise was talking about. It certainly reminds me of stuff we've seen at Dream Life. Good memory. Dream Life used them to record and transmit messages. Looks like this one's locked, though. Let's crack that code. And I do have all stars collected. Great, the device is unlocked. Now Kathy can check this thing for recordings. Matthew, I'm kind of in a pickle right now. What's wrong, Ramirez? It's my son Arturo's birthday today. I promised my wife I'd surprise Arturo with an authentic pico de gallo, like his abuela used to make. But the habaneros I need for it are extremely rare, from Mérida on the Yucatan Peninsula, where my family is from, and I can't find any here in the city. It's super important that I find some of those peppers before Arturo's birthday dinner tonight. Hey, I'm sure we'll figure it out. Do you have a clue where to find them in Grimsboro? I heard there was a shipment of those rare habaneros delivered to the Dome. Apparently there's a Tex-Mex stand there. Well then, we'll get them there for you. Don't worry, Ramirez. We'll save your son's birthday party. Aha! Excellent! Here's a box of peppers, but they're all different kinds. We need to collect some of the habaneros. Oh, nice. Habaneros. Perfect. That should be enough habaneros from the bunch for Ramirez to use. Let's get them to him. Another 6 hours. I'll see you guys when these two are done. Okay, let's get the results of the Dreamlife device first. Kathy, so did you find a recording Denise said was on this device? Something about human enhancement? Oh, I did. But before I play it for you, Matthew, do you remember Philip Hoover, the head of the Meteorite Lab at Dreamlife? Of course you remember him. We arrested him, and then he tried to escape prison by drugging Amir. You don't forget that in a hurry. But how's he relevant to this? Hoover's relevant because this device used to belong to him. And look at the message he had received. What did you do with them? I need those results, Hoover. How does an entire set of experiment results go missing? Do you realize how serious this is? It was one thing when we were testing on animals, but now we're enhancing humans. In order for this to go right, we need all, and I mean all, of the data. Otherwise, we've got nothing. Matthew, it definitely sounds like Hoover had something to do with this human enhancement business. And apparently some of Hoover's human enhancement experiment results went missing. Well, we've already put Hoover away, so he'll be easy to find and question. Let's go. Ah, Senior Trooper Matthew, it's been a while. I'd like to tell you what I've been up to, but I'm afraid it's not terribly interesting. Mr. Hoover, we're not here to catch up. We know you were involved in certain human enhancement experiments at Rosetta's behest. I was involved in all sorts of experiments, some of which evidently landed me here, but I've no idea what you mean now. Cut it out. We've got proof Rosetta tasked you with using the meteorite to somehow enhance humans. Okay, imagine I know something. Why would I tell you? Rosetta's got a long reach, even from jail. Well, we've got an even longer reach, and we're right here. What was this human enhancement business? Okay. It was to improve people, certain people, those who deserved it. Those who deserved it, like Ad Astra? Ad what? I don't know anything about that, but I know Rosetta was in a hurry to get that project done. But it wasn't going fast enough for Rosetta, and things sometimes went wrong. She was unpleasant when we told her such things, so I avoided transmitting those results to her. What did you do with them instead? I did whatever I could to hide them. I mostly deleted data, and on one memorable occasion, I buried some files outside the laboratory. I mean, you'll find nothing. I totally destroyed everything, and I'll tell you nothing else. Well, Senior Super Matthew, we'll just have to dig those papers up for ourselves, and we'll grab a bite to eat on the way. Matthew, I gotta say, I'm getting a bit tired over here. But wait, I just felt the shovel hit on something. Let's see what we've dug up. Berry jar. Bingo, Matthew. These have to be the documents Hoover hid from Rosetta. But you're right. To be totally sure, let's recover the text on this label. The label on this jar says these documents are the initial results of planned supernova. Matthew, it's no wonder Amir and Sarah's digging into Dreamlife's files was fruitless. The only files remaining were buried underground. Let's get these files to Amir right away. Okay, I'll get the results of the habaneros. Fantastic, Matthew! Those habaneros were exactly what I needed for the best pico de gallo ever. Now it's ready for the taste test. I need an objective opinion. Could you try some? And before you say yes, know that it's pretty spicy. Oh, I would love to, but the last time I ate something with habaneros in it, I couldn't feel my tongue for 2 days. You know, Rita loves spicy food. Let's go see if she'll try some. Alright, Ramirez, let's put this pico de gallo to the test. Here's a chip for you too, Matthew. Cheers! I eat it, but that's not in my diet, and I can't stand, and I'm not that fond of spicy food.
You've added just the right amount of cilantro and lime to... God, what? Seems like just the right amount of kick. My kids are always complaining that I don't make the pico de gallo spicy enough. Ah! Milk! Oh, I need milk! Thanks for your help, Rita. Arturo will love this. Matthew, I don't know how you're not dying right now. Here, I surrender my spicy food crown to you. I think this is number 3. So Amir, did you learn more about human enhancement from Hoover's jar of documents? Yes, and they took me way back. Matthew, do you remember how we examined beryllium for the meteorite and found it had 2 differing effects? Sure, one stifled processes in the human body and the other supercharged them. The mind-altering drug involved beryllium's suppression qualities, didn't it? Yes, and now with these documents on human enhancement, we're seeing the other supercharging side. There was a lot of technical meteorite jargon to get there, so I called Jasper over. And what did the 2 of you find? Well, we found some details on a failed experiment, as Hoover had mentioned, but from the notes we were able to discern the ultimate goal of the project. Matthew, there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt that this planned supernova was to create a superhuman serum. Superhuman? Like in comic books? More or less. The goal seems to have been to make whoever took the serum stronger, more resilient, and impervious to any sort of damage or attack. If we're reading this correctly, the end result will be a human being that could survive anything and everything, up to and including a nuclear apocalypse. And Matthew is right. Hoover told us this stuff was for those who deserved it. How much you want to bet Ad Astra planned to use it on themselves? They're bad enough as it is. Imagine a superpowered Rosetta running around. We heard that planned supernova is delayed, but that only means work has continued beyond these early experiments, and it's only a matter of time before they succeed. Yes, they clearly haven't given up on the plan. We can't underestimate the danger here. Well, we're not underestimating Ad Astra, and we'd better alert everyone else about this. Well, Matthew, Rita is still guzzling milk in the break room after trying Ramirez's pico de gallo. But we've got more serious things to discuss. I heard there was a major discovery concerning Ad Astra's planned supernova. Yes. It turns out planned supernova is creating a literal superhuman serum. And Ad Astra are probably planning to use it on themselves. Oh God. With their idea that they're naturally superior and wanting to rule over sheeple, becoming superhumans is obviously the next step. I hate to imagine the damage Ad Astra could cause if they attain such powers. Yes. And that's exactly why we must research all we can about this serum and come up with a way to stop them. They were doing human enhancement experiments under the dome, running tests on people. Most files on it disappeared or were destroyed, so we don't have many leads. But Jones, I was thinking, you won't like it, but we know of one survivor of the experiments under the dome, Zoe. So Zoe was experimented on for Protozane, not for this. We don't know that it was only for Protozane, Jones, and Zoe is literally our only lead. If she's seen something or knows something or... I get it. I don't like the idea of dragging her back into this. She still hates talking about her time under the dome. But I see no other choice. Matthew, we need to go to the psychiatric hospital and talk to Zoe. Oh, and that's gonna do.
I wonder if this is going to be the case that makes Jones break. I don't know. This will be released on January 10th. That's another Thursday. Another 4. And that'll do. That'll do. And I'll see you guys on January 10th.